Hi everyone, and welcome back to our video series for Business 119 Business Communications. Today I want to talk a little bit about the report unit that we're going to be doing. This is a big unit, and the final report is essentially your final research paper. It's going to be a culmination of a lot of things that we've learned. This video will just give you an overview and get you started, and then we can delve into a few of the details as we go along. As usual, I'm on our course homepage. You'll see our unit here. This is reports. And it's always a good idea to start with our overview and due dates. So the final report is due toward the end of May, toward the end of our semester. And you have two chapters to do in this unit, chapters 9 and 10. Those are super good chapters. They will talk about formatting reports and how to make charts and graphs. Now, for this project, I'm going to go back to our home page here. I'm going to be flipping back in and out of this view. So here we are on the course homepage, and here's our reports. One of the first things you're going to do is pick a research topic, and so be sure you read all of the pages in detail. I'm just going to cover a few of them now. But I've given you a choice of three potential topics. Networking and business, and so you might want to look at the difference between face-to-face networking, social media networking, what's more effective in getting you a job, some of the patterns and trends. You might want to look at student behavior in using social media and networking. So those are just a few of the options. Another topic you might be interested in is student health, and that can include physical health, mental and emotional health. Pick something that might be of personal interest to you, diet and exercise. And then the third final topic is practical finance, and that might include things like how do students save or budget, and do people set aside enough money for retirement? So there's lots of ways that we can come at each of these topics. You'll notice that the topics are big and broad. That's intentional. And once you've picked a topic, you need to narrow it down to your specific area of interest. I chose these topics because, one, they can be narrowed down to your area of interest, and two, what you're going to find is that they're fairly quantifiable. And what that means is that you can create a questionnaire and then make some charts and graphs. Now, when you've done report writing in the past, it may be that you've done some background research, and there's a page here on doing background research. It will take you to the library database and citations, so there's some helpful links here. And you may find that in the past, when you've done reports, you've used research from other secondary sources. What makes this report different is that we're going to be using our own primary research, and so we're going to be gathering data, right? And so it says for this research paper, you're going to be collecting your own primary research, and you're going to create a questionnaire, and you're going to gather 20 responses. Now, because we're fully online, you'll probably be sending out those questionnaires through social media. I will create a discussion board where you can post your questionnaires. I haven't done that yet, but I will. But you will be sending out questionnaires and gathering responses through our discussion board, and also most likely through social media. So again, let's go over here to making a questionnaire. And again, I'm going to cover this briefly, and then you can come back and look at it in more detail. Also, read the chapters in the book, because those will also talk about using data to make a final report. I recommend that you look at some of the links that I have here, and here's an example of how to ask questions when you design your questionnaire. So basically, once you've picked your topic, and again, you had a choice of 3 topics: networking in business, student health, or practical finance. You're going to create a questionnaire that allows you to gather data. And so I really want you to come back and read this page carefully on how to design demographic questions, where you ask things about people's age, perhaps their gender preferences, their income level, their education, and then you get into more of their values and their lifestyle and their beliefs. Those are the psychographic questions. You can ask questions on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. If 1 is not very important to you and 10 is very important to you, we want to ask a broad range of questions. A questionnaire might end up having anywhere from 15 to 20 questions on it. And what we're going to try and do is find out, so for example, do older students save more money than younger students? We want to start making what we call these connections or correlations. Everyone will tell you that they know saving money is important, but do students who've taken courses in practical finance do a better job with budgeting? So we make these connections. That's what the questionnaire allows us to do. We can compare 1 or 2 pieces of data to other pieces of information. And so when we do that, we will be able to get our own trends and patterns in the research, and then we will be able to compare the research that we have with the research that we've gleaned from our secondary sources. So again, I'm just flipping back and forth here, right? So when you start this unit, pick your topic, and then read the pages on gathering data and making a questionnaire. This says questionnaire clinic and class. I'm going to replace that with a discussion board for our online format. Read the 2 chapters that talk about how to make reports. This page will talk to you specifically about things to consider when you actually take your data from your questionnaire and make charts and graphs. Now, a word of caution here, and I'll try and post a reminder about this as we go through this unit. If you're using Google Docs or Google Forms to make a questionnaire, it's really tempting to let Google make your charts and graphs for you. And Google tends to make like all pie charts. So I recommend that you don't just use Google Docs to make your charts and graphs. I'll post another video specifically about making charts and graphs. You want to choose the best questions and the best charts and graphs that are going to inform your report. If you just show me 20 questions and 20 pie charts, you're not really doing a good job of analyzing your data. So when it's time to prepare your charts and graphs, you want to pick the questions that you think are the most informative, and you want to make the best chart or graph that best represents that question. All right? Now, once you've done that, here we are back at our overview. So pick your topic, gather your data, make your questionnaire, read your chapters, prepare your charts and graphs. This is the prompt for our final research report, okay? It's a long report. It will be 10 to 12 pages, and I've given you a little outline here with suggested lengths for each of the sections. So as long as you start early and allow yourself enough time, remember, we're going to be doing a couple of things. You're going to pick your own topic, gather your own data via your questionnaire tool, so you'll be making your questionnaire and gathering your data. You're going to be taking that data and preparing charts and graphs. It's essentially a visual representation of your data. And then you're going to compare what you found to your secondary source material. So you're going to go out to the databases. What did other people learn about your topic? And compare that to what you learned about your topic. When you do secondary research, try to find local and current sources, and that's going to allow you to make a comparison. So here's what I found about student health. Somebody else probably did a similar survey at a local college. What did they find about student health? Make your comparisons, prepare your report. Stick to this outline. This is a refresher on citations. This shows you the formatting that you need. You can also use chapters 9 and 10 as guidelines. All right, so that's a brief overview of where we're going for the final report, and I'll be giving you more updates as we get closer to that due date.